Thank you all for coming today. I know a lot of you are very important and very big deal, and I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come spend Veterans Day with us. I was so excited to first come to UB. I had lofty goals and life dreams. My plan when I came was to major in biomedical sciences and then go to medical school and become an emergency medicine physician. I had an academic scholarship based on my grades and SAT scores from high school. I had responded to an email from UB Rowing and decided to join the team. I was also still in the Army Reserve. It never occurred to me that this was a big undertaking. Class after class, my first couple of days, it became incredibly obvious to me that I was different than everyone. No one else could tell. As far as they knew, I was just another student, but I felt different. I was only 23, but I felt infinitely older than everyone I encountered. The military ages you, especially when you go to war. I couldn't focus, read, or sleep. I hated everything. The first semester was a whirlwind of classes I didn't understand, drill weekends that left me exhausted Monday morning, early morning rowing practices, and endless mastering chemistry assignments. I was angry, frustrated, and sad all at the same time. All of the time, I didn't do well in my classes, and I often felt stupid. It was a disaster. By the time my second semester at UB rolled around, I was really discouraged. So after some testing at the VA, it turns out my military experiences kind of messed up my brain. I have trouble focusing and making memories. This new information, combined with the way I felt at school, was devastating for me. I don't know how to explain the way that it feels when your entire life you identify as an intelligent individual, and all of a sudden you feel like you can't access all of your brain. It really felt like a part of me had died. I thought about quitting rowing, I thought about dropping out, I even thought about going back active duty, because if I couldn't do what I wanted to do, I might as well do what I'm good at. Luckily, I have some no-nonsense people in my life who shook me up and down and told me to get myself together. I came to some life-changing realizations. First, college isn't like first grade where you can be whatever you want when you grow up. Second, people who get C's in their classes don't go to medical school. Third, failing is not the end of the world. It can deviate your path in a way that you wouldn't expect. Needless to say, I lost my academic scholarship. Luckily, while I was floundering in school, I excelled at rowing, and I earned a scholarship. My sophomore year was a little better. I changed my major to nursing. Some of my classes were easier. I took less credits. I knew I would need extra help, so I sought out tutors through athletics and made sure to take advantage of opportunities through the Office of Accessibility Resources. After repeated failed attempts at counseling at the VA, a friend recommended the Vet Center. The Vet Center is separate from the VA, federally funded, and run almost exclusively by veterans. If you're a veteran today and you're having a little bit of frustration, I suggest you go there. They're wonderful people. I learned that trauma changes your brain. I learned about post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injury. I learned that trauma causes anatomical, physiological, and chemical changes in your brain. This explained a lot. I learned that anger is a secondary emotion. The most important thing I learned, and I still remember the first time that someone said it to me, is that I wasn't ever going to be able to go back to the way that I was before. This was my new normal, and I wasn't ever going to get better. UB brought me rowing. Most of the time, I couldn't stand half of my teammates, particularly on long bus rides. I often rolled my eyes at their antics and listened to their conversations with amusement. Despite the number of times I've blown them off as teeny boppers, and they repeatedly proved to me that we all have common ground and can connect on some level. In the second half of my sophomore year, I made some poor life choices, which for all intents and purposes left me homeless. As the girls on my team learned what happened, many of them offered to let me stay with them. So here I am, 24 years old, sleeping on the floor of the dorms, suffocated by my life. At one point, I was so depressed I couldn't get out of bed, and by bed I mean air mattress. I was staying with a coxswain on my team, and she let me know exactly how unacceptable it was to lay in bed all day. It didn't matter if I wasn't going to go to class, I still needed to eat. She gave me a book about depression and dragged me out of bed to breakfast. Teammates kept me on track. I probably stayed with 10 to 15 girls on my team over the course of several months. I never asked, they wanted me there. I was one of them. I didn't feel that way, I didn't feel like one of them, but they saw me that way and they treated me that way. They accepted me as one of their own before I even knew how to be accepted by them. Maybe they don't have life experience, maybe they don't understand me, maybe they use too many hashtags and YOLO too often, maybe they are immature, but maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe they saw me in need and decided to help. The support system seemed to spontaneously appear out of nowhere. Who helped me move furniture months later when my roommates moved out? Who invited me home for the holidays because they knew my family dynamic is a little complicated? Who let me rant and rave about whatever was on my mind? Who left notes in my locker when they knew that I was particularly down? Rowers have always come through for me. There have always been a few willing to wade through my crazy and meet me halfway, and for that I am eternally grateful. UB taught me the importance of balance and how bad I am at it. Most of my time at UB can be summarized into a juggling act between rowing, coursework, and the Army Reserve. Usually these areas of my life were very separate, but periodically everything would come together at the same time in this weird time and space warp. One particular Friday night, I was in the locker room because I just had practice. I was in my uniform because I had to drive to the field that night for drill, and I was finishing a homework assignment due that night. When you do too many things, the things interfere with each other, and sometimes you have to be all of those things at the same time. Finally, there was a physical representation of the way it always feels in my head. This is my 5th year at UB. I'd like to be able to tell you by now that I figured it all out, I'm all better, and my life is grand. None of that is true. I've just been more of the same. Nothing has changed except that I exhausted my eligibility with rowing, so now I play hockey on our women's club team. What a group of girls. I'm like Bambi on skates, yet they constantly encourage me and tell me how great I'm doing. We're undefeated, by the way. I still often feel as though I'm drowning in my schoolwork and other commitments. I still feel broken. I often only feel as if I'm a fraction of who I used to be or a small percentage of what I might have been. Every day is hard, some more than others. I just try to treat life like a shoot house, always keep moving forward. I don't tell you these things because I expect or want sympathy. I just want to shed light on the fact that being a veteran comes with its own set of specific obstacles and challenges that complicate normal life stressors. A couple weeks ago, one of my professors commented on how great the programs at the VA are and all the great things they do for veterans. I, of course, immediately set her straight. In case you're unaware, the VA is notorious among the veteran community for lack of quality or service at all. There are countless social media groups dedicated to mocking the VA. There's even t-shirts that say, "Veterans Affairs, giving veterans a second chance to die for their country." Oh, we think it's funny. You don't think that's funny? My bad. Recently, a veteran committed suicide at the VA elsewhere in the country. A couple years ago, a veteran set himself on fire outside the Buffalo VA. Clearly, there's a huge disconnect between what veterans need from the VA and what the VA provides. So what's the point of telling you this? There are similar, albeit not as drastic, disconnects here at UB. The university is frequently rated, listed, and cited as veteran-friendly by third-party entities, even the Military Times. None of these rankings take into account what veterans have to say about their respective colleges or universities. Again, there is a disconnect between the university claiming veteran-friendly status and student veterans perceiving the university as veteran-friendly. UB Veterans Association is working to bridge this gap. Since I believe that if you're not part of the solution, you are part of the problem, we work together with Veteran Services staff to challenge the university to continue building upon the recent improvements and changes in services. Services that still need improvement include the need to streamline the university's method for finding and tracking veterans. This is necessary to ensure that veterans do not slip through the cracks. We must also improve evaluation of military service for college credit. This is a crucial component of military-friendly universities. For example, UB awarded me 17 general elective credits for my service, which means that 4.5 years of hard work, 2 years of my life in Iraq, triaging, treating, medevacing casualties, all of the time I spent training and preparing my soldiers, is the equivalent of one really busy semester of college. There are no electives in my major, so these credits do me no good. Improving this service will validate veteran service and give them a leg up that they have earned. Veteran Services also needs an accessible location that is easy to find and convenient to use. Consolidating all veteran services in a single one-stop location would improve efficiency and cooperation between essential departments. Since I've come to UB, there has been exponential growth and progress in the Department of Veteran Services, but there's still much to be done. I challenge each of you to consider your participation in this endeavor. So back to me. If things had gone as planned, I would have my bachelor's of science in biomedical sciences and currently be in medical school. Instead, I'm in my senior year of nursing school. I spent 4 years playing a Division I sport. I helped found a student club for veterans, and I started playing hockey. I've since been to drill sergeant school and gone to basic training to help train brand new soldiers. I've been provided with opportunities to talk about my experiences in the hope that will encourage other veterans to do the same. One of my friends recently sent me a picture that I think really explains the way that I feel. It was a picture of a bowl that had been broken, but it was fixed now. There was gold in the cracks. Underneath it read, Kintsukuroi, I think that's how you say it, to repair with gold. The art of repairing pottery with gold or silver lacquer and understanding that the piece is more beautiful for having been broken. Not only was I completely humbled that she associated me with the process, but it also transformed the way that I view myself. Yes, I feel broken, but I think I've turned my brokenness into something better. So, happy Veterans Day, and remember, if you let PTSD ruin your life, the terrorists win. Yeah.